Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome if you're new here. If you are new, my name is Shan from HomeWithShan over on Instagram. I post loads of stuff about motherhood, baby content, just if you're a mum, if you're a new mum especially, just hit me up over there because I feel like we need to chat. There's so much to talk about and I feel like we could all just connect to each other on like such a deep level as mums. Anyway, today's video is going to be my 15 top baby hacks that I've learned that I really wish that I'd known before becoming a mum or before having a baby. Honestly guys, I did a video like this about 3 or 4 months ago and I loved doing it because it was like first time mum hacks, that kind of thing. And I've learned so much more since that video that I feel like I need to do a follow-up. So this is going to be my follow-up video. The other video I'll link down below and I'll link up here as well if you want to check that out because there are definitely some good hacks in that one. But I'm not going to repeat myself. I think maybe 1 or 2 I'm going to repeat just because I want to make it a little bit clearer in this video. But I really hope you enjoy it. Let's get into the hacks. Okay, so the first one is to do with baby grows, and we all know that baby grows are annoying because they've got so many poppers, right? So what I've actually learned, and especially since George has got older and he's wriggling around and he's really difficult to change generally, when I'm changing him, I've just decided to stop unpopping all of the poppers and having to redo them all up. I've actually just started unpopping maybe 3 or 4 of the top ones and then sliding his arms out, sliding the other arm out, and then I can just pull it all down as if it was trousers, and then when I need to put it back on, or if I wanted to, you know, put that in the wash or whatever, and when it comes out of the wash, that is going to be ready to put on, and I only have to undo 3 or 4 poppers rather than about 20 that are on there, and it is just so much easier, honestly. And you're doing that for trousers anyway, you might as well do it for baby grows. But we all know as mums that zip baby grows are by far the easiest thing, and I definitely think they are the best. I've got about 3 for George in his current size. I think they're amazing. They usually are more expensive than the popper ones, but I've actually got some from Asda that you can get 3 for £11, which is so affordable for zip baby grows, and I feel like they're definitely worth the markup because of just the simplicity and the ease of doing the zip. Trust me, it's going to save you so much time. Mum hack 101, like it's literally the best thing. Zip baby grows. But if you can't get to Asda and you can't get zip baby grows, then unpopping just 3 or 4 of the buttons at the top of the baby grow and then pulling it off as you would with trousers is such a good hack, I think. Number 2 is get the Wonder Weeks app on your iPhone or your Android phone. Honestly, it's an absolute lifesaver. I love this app so much. It's called the Wonder Weeks. It's so good because it literally tracks you through baby development and what to expect, what sort of things they're going through cognitively, but also a little bit physically as well. I think it's so good. It gives you a warning as to when they're likely to go through a leap, so when they might be a bit more anxious, or where they might need a bit more attention, or where they might cry more, or where they might beg off their food, that kind of thing. So it really gives you a really good understanding as to what to expect from your baby throughout the weeks. And so George has done 5 of the leaps so far, and every single leap that he has gone through has married perfectly with the app. So I just think it's incredible how precise it can be, really. It also gives you really handy tips as to how you can address some of the situations that are going on through their leaps. So for example, George's recent leap, he went through a few of the common things, which were separation anxiety, actually finally understanding a little bit what we're saying as well. Obviously not entirely, but a lot more than he was previously. So it gives you some tips. And so for the separation anxiety, for example, it says here, you can help your baby with separation anxiety by showing him understanding, empathy, patience, and all above, giving him your time. If your baby becomes anxious, you should accept his fears and support him. Your baby will soon come to learn that there's nothing to fear because you won't desert him. Babies usually have a peak of separation anxiety around 29 weeks old, and this will slightly get better as they start into the next leap. You can soothe the anxiety by staying close, by warning him when you're about to leave, talking to your baby while they are out of the room, and by helping him experiment with coming and going through games. So peekaboo, things like that would always be really helpful. And even if that is like encouraging them to crawl and you're further away from them and then you come closer, and whatever it is, these are such good tips and they helped me massively through the last leap, and I know that they're going to continue to help us through the following developmental leaps that George has. So I really recommend the Wonder Weeks app. Tip number 3 is going to be invest in a really good baby monitor that suits your lifestyle. So for us, we're on a 2 up, 2 down terraced house, and we because we've got the stairs and everything, and we really like George to sleep and nap. Every time he sleeps, he's in his cot pretty much, unless we're out and about. He will be in his cot, and I want to make sure that I don't go in that room. It's pitch black in there, and the baby monitor is really good because you've got the screen that you can have downstairs in the kitchen or wherever you are, but you can also have it on your phone. So for example, if I was out in the garden putting some washing up or whatever, I'd always get alerted on my phone if he were to stir or needed some assistance in whatever way. I'll link our specific baby monitor down below. We've got loads of really good reviews and loads of really like awards and stuff the other year. I think 2020 got loads and loads of awards, so that's the reason that I went for this baby monitor, but I'm sure there are so many others out there as well. Just make sure you get one that you are happy with and it does all of the things that you want it to do. For us, having something on our smartphones was essential. Number 4 is going to be drawer dividers, guys. Drawer dividers for your baby clothes, because firstly, they're tiny. Baby clothes are so small and they're so easy to get all mixed up. Having drawer dividers are just a lifesaver. They really, really are, and I can separate all of his vests, all of his trousers, all of his baby clothes, all those kind of things, and they're all in separate little containers. I know where they go and I always know where to reach for if I'm looking for a specific kind of item. I just think drawer dividers are a must. The drawer dividers that we have, I always get questions about this, are called the Skub, S-K-U-B-B, Skub IKEA drawer dividers. I'll link them down below. And the dresser that we have, or the just like changing table, whatever, is actually just some MUMS IKEA drawers that we popped some new handles on, so they look a little bit nicer than just your regular MUMS IKEA drawers. But I think they're perfect, plus the Skub inserts, because it's IKEA furniture, everything fits together perfectly, so the Skub inserts fit perfectly inside the IKEA MUMS drawers. Another really good tip, and I'm just going to include this in the same one, is just to roll your baby clothes. Really easy. You can see them all as well. If you roll them and stack them nicely, you can see them all. So you've always got like sight of all of the clothes that you might possibly want to put your baby in that day. It's just so much simpler, it doesn't take too long, and you don't have to worry about folding them nicely particularly. Just roll them up. They're so tiny, it really doesn't matter. Tip number 5 is to have a really, really, really good blackout blind. Our blackout blind is a portable blackout blind, and I rate it so massively. I think I talk about it in every single one of my must-have videos, because it has suction cups on it, and that means I can put it on the PVC around the glass. I'm in George's room now, and I'm just going to turn off the light and you're going to see how dark it is in this room. Ready? You can't see a thing. So I can take this anywhere, and now we're able to go away. We actually took this away to Yorkshire with us when we went away a couple of weeks ago, and it was so perfect because we could put it on the window there. We could just fold it up into the nice bag that it comes in. This is the Grow blind, by the way. I'll link it down below, but I think Tommy Tippy do one, and I'm sure you can get other different ones as well, but our one I'll link down below. Honestly, so good. I literally am going to take it everywhere that we go with George, that we're staying overnight, or if he's going to need naps or something. I'm just going to take it with us because he sleeps so well when it's dark. I know that elongates George's naps for sure, without a doubt, because whenever he's in a room and there's no blackout blind, he doesn't sleep as well. So I just know for a fact that works really, really well for him, and I think it's a massive tip. It's like 25 quid or 30 quid maybe, and I feel like that is a massive baby hack in my opinion. Tip number 6 is going to be to double layer your baby's cot bedding, and what I mean by that is having a waterproof mattress protector, and then a cot sheet, and then another waterproof mattress protector, and then another cot sheet. So there's 4 layers of bedding there, and the reason that I say to do that is because if your baby has an accident in the night, you don't have to be worrying about having to get the bedding out of the airing cupboard and getting it from there and here. You literally just take off the dirty stuff and you've got a whole nother layer of protection there for them. You can put them straight back to bed and it will be so much easier. Promise me, of all the things you're gonna do this, because this is so life-saving in the middle of the night if your baby has an accident. I'll link down some crib mattress protectors, and I'll link down some cot mattress protectors as well, because they are must-haves in my opinion. So good. You will thank me later. Next time you have an accident, you are not going to be having to worry about any of this bedding situation, trust me. Number 7 is going to be have a storage container of some sort in your baby's room to put their outgrown clothes into, so it's so easily accessible for you. Let's face it, they grow out of clothes so quickly. I have George's in his Wardrobe, I actually have 3 in George's wardrobe, and when the 3rd one is full up, I'm going to take it to the garage. But by having your storage containers in the room, you can just pop, as soon as you realise that something is too short for them or too small for them, you can just pop it in there, and you don't have to have it all mixed up and make the same mistake over and over again where you're putting them into smaller clothes and thinking, I need to get rid of this. You can just pop it in there and it's out of the way, no clutter, no faff. It is just so much simpler. You can even just have like a plastic bag, whatever you want to do, pop that somewhere in the baby's room and you will not regret it, I promise. Number 8 is to have a portable changing mat. And it's not just a portable changing mat that you can just like, it's small and you can kind of take it downstairs with you. I mean a portable one that will fit into your changing bag or in the car, wherever you want to have it. So we've got one from Aldi, and it's got a compartment for nappies, nappy sacks, and for wipes. It keeps them completely fresh. I've had wipes in there sometimes for like over a month and they are still fresh when I come to use them because it's completely sealed. It's so easy to use. I've changed George in the back of the car, I've changed George in the garden, I've changed George when we're at a park, I've changed him at service stations, and you can just put it over, you know, if somewhere's got a actual changing like table that you pull down, like in a restaurant or a coffee shop or something, I just put it over the top because then he's not touching the actual surface, he's just on his own changing mat. Honestly, it's the best thing. I'll link a few down below because there are loads on Amazon as well. You don't have to get them from Aldi. They are so worth it to save those times that if you're in the back of the car and they start to wee, for example, it's not going to get all over the upholstery. It's just going to be so much simpler for you. I just think it's such a good baby hack. Number 9 is for you other formula feeding, bottle feeding mums, and it is about bottles on the go. I always get asked about this, and I have to say it's probably the thing that I search for information on the most because I feel like there's not that much information about how to make your baby's bottles safely when you're on the go and out and about. I just don't know why, it's just not something that people make videos about. But I'm here to tell you that the easiest, the simplest way to make a bottle, if you can't make the bottle before you leave the house and give it to them within an hour, I would say don't make it. I would say take the formula, the amount of formula that you need in a bottle, and make the bottle while you're out. What I do is use a flask of water, hot water, and that temperature water isn't boiling hot, but it's the temperature that a kettle would be after 30 minutes of it cooling down. So it's hot enough to kill the bacteria, but it's actually a warm enough temperature that you can give it to your baby and it's gonna be decent. So obviously test it every single time on your wrist, make sure it's the right temperature. If it's too hot, then wait or run it under a cold tap if you've got a cold tap available. If you haven't, then you're just gonna have to wait for it to cool down. But this way I found is the simplest way. Obviously if you're at a coffee shop, you can ask for some hot water, they can help you a little bit in that scenario, but if you're literally out in a park in the middle of nowhere and you don't have any resources, some warm water or boiled water that's cooled down for 30 minutes, pop it into a flask, make sure the flask is a decent enough flask, it's not going to leak or anything, have that in your changing bag and you will not regret it. It's the easiest way. I've made bottles tens of times like that for George and it's been absolutely fine. Like I said, it's the most sterile, safe way of doing it, and it's going to be a warm, decent bottle for your baby. Tip number 10 is also about going out and about, and it is to do with naps. So I really struggled with nap time when we were out because George has always had a blacked out room with his blackout blind in his cot. He's always been super cozy and comfy, and that's what he's known, and he's always napped really well. As soon as we started going out and about and trying to incorporate a nap time, it was just not going well. It was a no-go and I didn't know what to do. I asked people on Instagram and this is what they said. Get a snooze shade. A snooze shade, guys, is a lifesaver. It has saved nap times for us so many times. Basically, we got the Snooze Shade Plus Deluxe, which is like the top end of the snooze shade because I really wanted it to be perfect, and it is, guys. I swear to God, it is worth every penny. I think it was £25, but I'll double check and I'll link it down below for you guys. The Snooze Shade Plus Deluxe is perfect for when your baby is 6 months plus. If your baby's a little bit younger, you might want to get one of the different snooze shades. They have loads on there, and on their website they actually have loads of information about which snooze shade would suit you best, because like I said, there's so many different ones and they really are suitable for every single lifestyle. For me, I love our Snooze Shade Plus Deluxe because it can literally fit any stroller, any buggy, any pram, anything. It's so good. It blocks out loads of the harmful UV rays if it is sunny, but even if you're in, I don't know, just a supermarket, you can cover your baby and it's basically a blackout blind for your buggy, which is what I love because that is what George is used to when it comes to nap times. And if I've got to be out and he's due a nap, I want him to nap because otherwise I'm going to pay for it later. So instead of like having to stay at home and cancel my plans or whatever, I can still go out, I can still have a life, he can still nap, and we can all be happy. It's worth it for nap time hacks. Baby hacks that help with nap time, let's face it, are the best kind of hacks. Number 11 is going to be another thing about being out and about with your baby, and it is a baby carrier. So I actually mentioned having a baby carrier in my last mum tips video, first time mum tips video, but this time I'm going to talk to you guys about a specific kind of one that has saved my back. So when it comes to our baby carrier, we have the Ergo Baby 360. They're actually coming out with a new one, which is a more summer baby carrier. So it's really breathable for you and baby, so neither of you are going to get really hot, which is ideal. But the ergonomics of this baby carrier I just find so good, because I know that I never get a backache. With the other baby carrier we had, a cheaper one, I did get backache quite a lot if I didn't take it off sort of every 20 minutes or so, and George wasn't as comfortable in it. This one he can stay in for like an hour and be totally comfortable. It gives you the opportunity to have free hands, and it is just, they're heavy at some point, they start to get heavier, so to have the opportunity to just walk, not have a big buggy in front of you or stroller, you can do so much more with a baby carrier. I just think it's so worth the investment. I know that I'm going to be using this one specifically for a long time. The reason I know that I'm going to be using the Ergo Baby for so long is because you can use it in so many positions. You can have him facing in, like if he's ready to go to sleep, facing out on your front. You can also have him on the back, so when he's older he can go on the back, and it's like a big piggyback for him basically. He's going to love it. Genuinely a massive advocate for the Ergo Baby 360. I think it's such a good product. Baby hack number 12 goes hand in hand with number 11, and that is because it's a baby wearing coat. Now I know we're going into the summer months, but Wombat & Co, who did my winter baby wearing coats, have actually just brought out a spring summer baby wearing coat, because let's face it, we live in the UK, it rains sometimes it's windy, and it's just perfect for you and baby to make sure that you're both comfy, but actually it's really lightweight. It's good up to like 10 degrees Celsius, I would say. If you haven't heard of a baby wearing coat, essentially it is just a normal coat. Think about a normal coat, but it has a zip panel that you can actually put over the top of baby, and they can literally have their heads popping out of you there, and they're just going to be super comfortable, warm, everything. And with the Wombat & Co ones, the ones that I really love, the reason that I love it is because it goes really well with the Ergo Baby 360 carrier, because it's got a zip at the back, and the zip at the back means you can insert the panel at the back, and you can have a baby, you can wear the baby at the back, like I said, as a piggyback little motion with the baby carrier, and the head can pop out of the back of it. It's just genius. Plus, once you're done baby wearing and you no longer need a baby wearing coat, you just discard the panel or save the panel for another time if you're ever pregnant, or if you need like a maternity kind of jacket, then you can just wear it as a normal coat. So they're nice and fashionable as well, they're not like horrible coats. So I just think baby wearing coats, like if you're going to be baby wearing, have a baby wearing coat, have a summer one, have a winter one. Like bloody brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Tip number 13 is just to allow extra time for everything. So if you think that you need 15 minutes to get out of the house in the morning, allow 30 minutes. Trust me, at least allow half an hour, 40 minutes. You will not regret this, because honestly, the second that you want to leave the house with baby, what do? Kick up a fuss, do a poo, lose their socks, you've lost their teether, you know, something always happens, and whether that's to do with you or to do with baby, if you're focusing all on your baby and they're ready to go and you realise you haven't got your shoes on, you haven't brushed your hair, you haven't brushed your teeth or something like that, trust me, just allow extra time, because everything takes longer with a baby. It used to take me like 5 minutes to leave the house if I decided to go to the shops. 5 minutes, put my shoes on, get my keys, go. No. Doesn't work like that anymore, Shan. So yeah, just allow yourself extra time, and then everything will be a bit more zen in your life. Hack number 14 is going to be basically toy rotation. And what I mean by this is only having out a certain amount of toys at any one time. And for me, the reason that I like to do this with George is because I know that he will get bored or overwhelmed if all of the toys are out all of the time. He'll get definitely overwhelmed and probably not play with anything if everything's out and available to him all the time. By having like 5 toys available to him at any one time, Once he's done playing with them, or he's getting a little bit bored of them, or he's not showing as much interest, or he's outgrown them or whatever, I can just take those toys and I can replace them with new toys. The best way that I found that I do this is by using a toy subscription service. I use Whirly, and basically it's essentially borrowing toys, and then once your baby grows out of them, because let's face it, they grow out of everything so quickly, you return them and they send you new ones. It's brilliant. The cheapest subscription box I think is £9.99 a month, or you can pay 6 monthly and it's like £54, which is so much more affordable than having to buy new toys all the time. With Whirly also, I've got a discount code that is available until the 23rd of May 2021, and if you use the code SHAN30 you get 30% off. So definitely use that if you're interested in toy subscriptions. If you're thinking about doing toy rotation, it's such a good way because it reduces on the clutter. You literally don't have that clutter everywhere. You don't have to store the toys away, you don't have to have the mess everywhere. You just use the toys for as long as you want to use them, swap them for new toys, do that again. You can swap them as many times as you want. If you get the cheapest subscription, then you get credited your account with 80 tokens, and those 80, like the tokens in your account are worth £1 each, so you get basically £80 worth of toys, but for like £9.99 a month. It's ridiculous. It's so good. We've got a load of stuff at the moment, and I think next month we're going to swap them, and we don't have to swap all of them. You can send back maybe 2 or 3 things and then get 2 or 3 new things. I just think to save the clutter in your house, to save your sanity, and to keep your baby entertained and actually engaged in certain toys, toy swapping or toy rotation is just such a good baby hack. The last thing that I really wish that I'd known before having a baby was about meal prepping. Meal prep, meal prep, meal prep. And that goes for you and it goes for baby. So for us, I would say if you're making dinner, if your partner's making dinner, make twice as much and then freeze the extra stuff. So you've got a stash of delicious meals on the nights that you can be bothered to cook, essentially, and you feel like you're motivated enough to cook. Make more so that on the nights that you really can't, if you've had a really stressful day and you're just exhausted, you've got meals available to you to eat, and they're delicious and they're home cooked and they're lovely. Secondly, when it comes to babies, so meal prep your baby's food. Otherwise you're going to be spending so much money on either pouches or baby food or whatever, or you're going to have to be making it from scratch every single day, every single meal, which is just an absolute nightmare in my opinion. I love the fact that our freezer and our fridge is stocked with all loads of things for George. I asked about what you guys do for baby-led weaning for batch cooking, and you guys all said roasted veggies and finger foods, like maybe some shredded chicken, that kind of thing. So what I'm doing is on our leftover roast dinners, we're gonna be shredding the chicken, the roast chicken that's left on that, put that in a pot for George so that's ready, and we can have that in the freezer and in the fridge and whatever. And also for baby-led weaning finger food, we decided to do some roasted carrots and roasted sweet potatoes are our absolute favourite. George loves those things as long as they're about the size of a finger, think about that, and he is absolutely obsessed. If you're doing more spoon-fed food, then I really adore these silicone weaning trays, and basically these ice cube trays is 1 portion per ice cube tray. It's really easy to just pop whatever you're batch cooking in. So maybe if it's like a bit of risotto or a bit of whizzed up pasta, or even if it's just blended up carrots or some sort of veg, then you can just pop them in there and put them in the freezer, and they're so easy to get out when you're ready because of the silicone. And you just pop that either in a bowl to defrost overnight, or you can just pop it in the microwave for a minute or so, so you know that it's nice and cooked through. Honestly, especially in the early days, that is the option that we use the most. We're starting to move on a little bit more onto baby-led weaning now, but batch cooking, guys, will save you on a daily basis, I promise. Okay, so those are my 15 baby hacks that I wish I knew before I had a baby. Guys, I've learned so much from you, and I would really love to know what your top baby hack is. If you haven't watched my last video, again, I'll link it here and I'll pop it down below as well, because I mentioned loads of things in there that I didn't even mention in this video, things that I learned in the first sort of 3 months of George's life, and this is like the follow-up to that, because I've learned so much more, and I know that I've got so much more to learn, so I'd love to hear what you guys have to say down below. Message me on Instagram, tag me and stuff, let me know what you guys are thinking, and maybe I'll feature your hack in the next one. But for now, I will love you and leave you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.
'Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby.